What's up guys, Dirk here. This is just a quick kind of an emergency update. I wasn't going to make a video today, but there's been some big events that have happened and that are currently taking place, and I wanted to keep you in the loop. So we're not going to go look at too many charts or anything like that. I just want to tell you what you need to know, and hopefully, give you a bit of a peace of mind also with what is happening. Before we dive into that, also, there's so much happening in the space right now, like literally every hour, there's just some piece of news or some important thing coming out. So if you are not a VIP member, obviously in VIP I update in the Discord, but if you are not a VIP member, you want to follow along what's happening more in real time, follow me on Twitter or join my free public Telegram channel. The links are in the description down below. I update a lot more there throughout the day, and you can get kind of real-time updates. Videos just take a lot longer to make and upload, so they're not as fresh in terms of immediate updates. So feel free to follow me on Twitter and join the Telegram channel, and that way you can stay more up to date with what is happening. So today we've got news from two more big players that have just halted withdrawals that could potentially be ominous, that we don't know if they're solvent or not or what the case is, but we've seen this year when a large player, a large exchange, a large platform halts withdrawals, they are having serious liquidity issues. Now, maybe they are solvent and they're not able to get their funds from wherever to be able to meet the withdrawals, but the fact that they have to pause withdrawals means there is a big issue. So I just want to bring this to your attention. Once again, I hope at this point you've been listening to me. I've been saying for a long time already, get your funds off exchanges and third-party platforms into a wallet you control. We don't know at this point which exchanges, which platforms are insolvent, which are risky, and thus we have to assume that every single platform, every single exchange, third-party exchange, has a risk of going under, and that is why it's just not smart at all at this point in time to keep any significant funds on exchanges. Now, maybe a bit of an exception if you understand the risk and you've got a little bit of funds that you're trading with or something where you want to buy the dip and you think you can feel okay with that, whatever the risk might be. Okay, that's one thing. But the majority of your holdings should be in cold storage. Any long-term crypto should not be on an exchange. Stable coins also, you can store them in a hardware wallet. And if you have to, of course, you can also just convert them to a fiat balance and withdraw them back to your bank account. In this case, in this situation, it is better to be safe than sorry, to be able to keep your funds, even if there's a little bit of a hassle where you have to put in some time to withdraw that, take it off the exchange, take it back to your bank account. It's better to do that and have nothing happen. All it did, it cost you a little bit of time and maybe some tiny fees, but it could save you from having a lot of funds being locked on an exchange that might become insolvent. So please, please, please listen to that. If you haven't done that already, we don't know which exchanges are at risk. So just play it safe, okay? Hopefully, we're not going to see anything more crazy, but like I'm sharing with you now, we have Gemini, another very reputable, by the Winklevoss twins, licenses in New York, all that kind of stuff. We're seeing this now, updated today, November 16th, an important message regarding Gemini Earn. You can see we are aware that the Genesis Global Capital LLC, the lending partner of the Earn program, has paused withdrawals and will not be able to meet customer redemptions within the service level agreement of 5 business days. We are working with the Genesis team to help customers redeem their funds as quickly as possible. So, again, this is contagion. It's fallout. And maybe it all started back when Terra Luna collapsed earlier in May this year. We're starting to see the effect spill over. We've seen FTX become insolvent. As a result, the exposure of all these lending platforms, BlockFi and Voyager, now we have Gemini, we have Genesis. We don't know who is all involved. We don't know who is all exposed. And it really is starting to seem like, that saying that they say when the tide goes out, you can see who's been swimming naked. We're seeing the tide go out, and we are seeing which platforms and players are really insolvent and have a lot of problems, and it's starting to come out. Now, I don't know if Gemini is going to have a problem. I suspect not, hopefully, but we are starting to see issues. And this is also coming from mainly Genesis. Like they just said, Genesis, the crypto lending unit, is halting customer withdrawals in the wake of the FTX collapse. So the unit, known as Genesis Global Capital, serves an institutional client base that had $2.8 billion in active loans at the end of the third quarter of 2022. So this is the problem, why everything's collapsed. It's just all leverage and loans and people who took on more than they could could pay back if things go south. Now things are going south and a lot of people are in trouble. And as a result of one massive collapse, which was the Terra Luna collapse, we saw a huge fallout. We saw 3 Arrows Capital, the fund, go bust. We're now seeing FTX, we're seeing Voyager, we're seeing BlockFi that already went earlier, but now because FTX is also going down, they're not going to be able to bail out the funds that they promised to bail out. They were going to make a deal with Voyager and maybe even with BlockFi, I believe. I'm just talking off the top of my head. I think with both of them. But of course, now that FTX is gone, they're not going to be able to bail out those two platforms. So now we have Genesis, and as a result, we have Gemini Earn. And it's kind of like a domino effect. The one big one fell, and now we're starting to see what is happening. So the point here is that I want to make is we don't know which other platforms have issues, and we're probably going to end up seeing that in the next days, weeks, maybe even the next couple of months. That is all going to start surfacing. And when it does, as it is today, it is very possible that it creates more selling pressure, more panic in the markets, and we could see those lower prices. Of course, for those of us who look at the charts, this is nothing unexpected. I've been saying this for a long time. Even on Monday, I also made a video that we are likely to see downside continuation, in my opinion, to potentially the $12,000 level, or things get really bad, maybe even a little bit below that. Looking at the chart, quite simply, it's because we are here. The price of Bitcoin is below this breakdown level, and the next major support is quite simply where I see around this $12,000 level. And I said on the weekly chart, purely without knowing what is going to happen in terms of news or events, it is likely that we can see that downside continuation. And in case we don't, we can consider starting to let our guard down a little bit and start thinking things are a little bit more bullish once we reclaim at least this level of 18.5 or 19,000, but ideally the 3-day 50 moving average at about 21,000. Until then, we have that downside risk. And as you can see, it's very possible that just one single announcement or something like this can cause that further sell-off. The Genesis now, Gemini, we don't know who else is exposed. We don't know who else is going to halt withdrawals, and so on and so forth. So again, don't panic. Hopefully you've been prepared for this. If you've been following me, I've been saying there's the potential for lower prices. I've been saying get your funds off exchanges. If you're prepared for both of those things, you're in with risk capital, and you are waiting for this opportunity, this final capitulation, everything is absolutely amazing, because this is what we've been waiting for this whole bear market. The final capitulation of the bear trend, where it just completely feels like everything is dead, everything is lost, everyone is throwing in the towel, everyone is angry, everyone is quitting. That is the moment the maximum pain, the maximum fear is the maximum opportunity, and usually tends to come with that final bottom, just like we saw in 2018. But it is painful for a lot of people. So hopefully you are not in the camp of people that is affected by this in a major way. Hopefully you're prepared for this, and hopefully you're able to view this as the opportunity that it is, because at some point, again, the bear market will be finished. We will start a period of accumulation, and then we will get some sort of new bull market, maybe even another major bull market that takes us to new all-time highs. Obviously not right away. That's probably going to take like 2 or 3 years, but that is basically how these market cycles work. So if you are prepared, I'm still waiting. I've been dollar cost averaging and nibbling at some positions here as the market's going down. I'm really waiting for around that 12K level. That will be starting to get interesting. Maybe we wick down below it, maybe we don't, so we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. But again, for me, this is really a nice opportunity. And on top of that, in terms of only just spot, what I'm looking to do, I'm looking to accumulate during these bear market lows and wait, buy and hold with risk capital that it can hold for the next 2, 3, 4 years with the expectation of another bull market, and then just hold those positions, hopefully for 10, 20, 30x, maybe more, and offload them again at the next bull market euphoria, when everyone's hyping in and FOMOing in, and when things are absolutely crazy. That is my strategy. Buy low, sell high. So I hope you enjoyed this update. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't joined the Telegram and my Twitter, follow, links are in the description below. For the rest, stay safe. Please remember, do not keep large funds on exchanges. Get them off into wallets where you control the keys. That is the safest way to protect yourself from exchanges going under.